Hey everybody, welcome back to day 20 of our ScoobQuest series, and today's question is a bit more on topic rather than the last one, because the last one was just like filler, it just felt like a commercial break, the last video. But this one, this is it. This is the one that's going to get you all thinking and thinking, which one am I going to choose? And the question and answer is, a moment in Scooby-Doo that made you upset. And yes, this could be anything from views to random hiccups to random walk-off and betrayals. It could be anything you want, okay? Go all out. Put your thinking caps on, rewatch the entire series, go over your fond memories and think, I don't quite like that scene. I'm upset, very upset. And I've chosen a very good one. It's from a live action. And no, it's not prequels. No, it's from the Scooby-Doo movie. Yes, the actual first live action that we had on the big screen. Yeah! And you're probably thinking, how has that got an upset moment? Could it be when the gang disbands? Okay, yeah, probably that's the most biggest upset moment, and I could have gone with that one, but I didn't. Kind of stupid of me, I understand. In fact, I just figured that out thinking, hang on, the biggest moment was they just left. Or it could be the fact they didn't talk to each other on the airport. Or they didn't do a high five. God damn, they sound better options than what I chosen. But I'm sticking with my answer. God damn it. And the scene that I chose was not the scene where Velma was dancing in changing rooms on the deleted scene. No, that wasn't that moment. Even though the upset moment was the fact that we didn't get to see that deleted scene. No, my upset moment was the scene where Shaggy and Scooby argue over Mary. Okay, hear me out, okay? You're probably thinking, how is that an upsetting moment? When they're running away from the monsters and Shaggy has Mary on the quad bike and Scooby-Doo's right beside him, Scooby noticed that Mary isn't Mary. Yeah, that's right, Mary at this point has been changed into a monster. Her soul is in a pot and the monster is inside of her. And Scooby notices that when she hits her head, and she pretty much sees her head is disfigured and she stretches it back out. And at that point, Scooby understands that Mary isn't who she is and begins to defend Shaggy by attacking her off. Which, I keep in mind, this is the only moment Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep in mind, this is the only moment where Scooby-Doo is brave. Yes. Brave. Any other time he's running away, but this time he's like, that's my best friend. I am defending my best friend by attacking off Mary. Now keep in mind, in Shaggy eyes, he loves Mary. He has feelings for Mary, as obvious through the whole point in the plane and all that. But through Shaggy's eyes, Scooby's attacking Mary, and then he's thinking that he doesn't approve, and Shaggy has to defend Mary because that's what we have to do in relationships. If you have a dog and they don't like the woman you're with, normally you take that as a sign saying don't trust that woman and get rid of the woman, but most of the time men just like, no, down boy, be nice and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of like a dog to human moment where you see a best friend like judging who you're with, that sort of thing. And most of us can relate to that moment because, if your pet doesn't like someone, you know not to trust that person, okay? It's a fact. But in this movie, they go all out and Shaggy does the complete opposite and doesn't really trust Scooby. In fact, he has an argument with Scooby and they have this beef, if you would say. They have like a massive argument over Mary, and then all of a sudden Scooby-Doo goes down this trap door, and at that moment we saw Shaggy change from fighting the Scooby to being worried about his best friend because he's just gone down a hole and he's gone forever, possibly. Okay, you don't know if he's going to be alive or well. We just don't know the dangers of that go below there. And then this is where Shaggy changes from the argument type to running after his best friend, and that's where Mary lets loose her other voice. No, Shaggy. No. And about that point, Shaggy jumps down and goes after his best friend. So, in all conclusion, I think that's the most upset moment, is the fact that they argued. It's something that we relate to in real life, and then he finally goes after his best friend and when he realises he's gone for good. And we all have that moment where we argue with our best friend, where it could be a dog or another person, and then when something bad happens, we end up being caring for those people because we're still close to them. And to me, I've chosen that as my upset moment because it is something you think, oh, why are they doing that? Why are they fighting? They've been friends for years. Why are they doing this to each other? And then we see that nice heart-to-heart moment when they actually try to save each other, where Shaggy risks his life to save Scooby because deep down he still cares for his best buddy. And that's where the man's best friend comes in an approach, and that's where we can all relate to that. So I chose that as my upset moment. Even though there were many others, I could have chosen the ones I said at the start, but I went deep. I went so deep, I chose that moment. That moment. Or the fact that the upset moment was the fact that Rowan Atkinson was in fact Scrappy-Doo in a robot, and we never actually saw the real Rowan Atkinson, and that was really upsetting because the guy's a legend, and we had to put up with Scrappy-Doo, even though he was in disguise as Scrappy-Doo, and then we actually found out at the end. God, that is so cold and dark.